And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
If you've watched our video we put out last week about our top 10 tips for publishers, and you'll notice that 2 of mine were I hate paper money, and also please give us a way to keep track of victory points. Well, despite what I say, publishers still are going to make games with paper money, and they're still going to make games without victory points. So today, I'm going to be taking a look at some game night chips. I have them here in this box for now, so I find a more suitable case for them. I did a preview on these chips, or I mentioned them on one of my videos, at least in the past, so keep that in mind. But I just wanted to show you what kind of chips they have, what kind of chips I have actually from them, and we'll be back. Alright, first we have our victory point chips here. These are probably for me the most useful part of the set, mostly because I already had tokens that I could use for different things, and I even had other victory point tokens, but I really like these victory point tokens for a lot of reasons. 1, there's nothing on the other side of each of them, and 2, the color and the numbers and the word, they're just very easy to differentiate. Now, granted, most people are just going to need 1s, 5s, 10s, 25s, maybe 3s. And, you know, if you have those games that are annoying, the negative 1s. But I like having this many, and I'll tell you why. Because if we play with all of them, which I try to do, I try to have all of them out whenever we play a game, and someone gets 7 victory points, they'll take the 7, and I can't look at someone who has, for example, 2 chips and assume, well, I think they got 6 points. Instead of, you know, if they have a 7, a 3, and a 4, I can't keep track of their things so easily. Besides, it's just cool. Okay, that's why. So anyway, I like them. I think the colors are very pleasing, and they're a very good weight. The only problem is if you need a lot of victory points in the game, these will take up a lot of room. Then we have money. 1, 2, 3s, 5s, 10s, 20, 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000, 5,000. The 25s, 50s, and 100s have 2 different things each. I like these. I especially like the higher looking ones. I wish that they were a little easier to see on the outside exactly what it was, but some people don't like that. They want to be able to stack their money necessarily. I have no idea. Besides, how many 10K chips do you have thrown around? That's pretty neat. But for the most part, this is a pretty good mix. If I was getting them, well, I mean, I do have them. I have a lot of the 1s, and I have a lot of the 2s and 3s and 5s, actually, because a lot of games use smaller amounts of money. And then fewer of these. 20s are not as useful, probably the least useful number here, because if you've, even 10 isn't as useful. I usually find that getting a lot of 5s and then going straight to 25 is the best way. And even skipping 50s and then going to 100. And then 100, 500s, and 1,000s. But it's up to you. Here we have our other category. Using these for hit points, or you can make hit points go away and take death points or healing points. Your first player token, which is probably the most superfluous token, but hey, you can advertise game night on the back of it. This token, for those who have AP, you can put it in front of them and say, it's just a gentle reminder to please hurry up. Or more importantly, maybe you can give it to somebody whose turn it is. This is also a useful thing to see if the game goes in different directions, you can flip this over for clockwise or counterclockwise. Maybe a game like 7 Wonders this would be handy in. And then these turtle tokens, which, if you notice, I have 3 of those, and I like to, again, use these just like the AP token, and basically gently place it in front of someone, reminding them that it's their turn. Alright, you've already seen me drop these on the table, but we want to talk about the feel and weight of these, and just how well they can take damage. They feel very heavy. They're not the best quality chips I have ever had, but I have had the best, so that's not a fair assumption. I don't think I can break them. They haven't chipped yet. They do seem, they feel pretty good. I've tried to scratch them and haven't tried really hard because I don't want to ruin my chips too much. But they seem to play pretty well, and they're certainly heavy enough to feel very satisfying when you clunk them on the table. Deciding whether to get chips or not is a pricey endeavor, but for me it's worth it because I like to have games here, and I like to have, games, but I'd rather get a lot of games. People often talk about the huge amount of games that I have, and I certainly do have a lot, but I get rid of tons of them. And I can't really keep any more than what I have right now. So when a new game comes in, an old game comes out. So the games that I have become very precious to me in the sense that I want to see them look as nice as they possibly can. And for that, I really like having these chips. Now, I can't put these chips in every game. That'd be crazy. But I do have them here in my game room so that if we have a game that needs victory points, I pull out the chips. If I have a game that has paper money, I pull out the poker chips. Now, I'll be honest, I don't use these money chips as much as I use a much better set that I have, I think, at least quality-wise. But these are a much more affordable alternative. So there you go. This is certainly a luxury item in the board gaming world, but if it's one that you're interested, grab them.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!